Hello, everyone. Are you ready to dive into a world of darkness and psychological horror? Do you think your heart is strong enough to handle unexpected shocks, whispers in your ear, shadows watching you from afar, and powerful monsters confronting you? In 2025, horror is making a massive comeback. But this time, with stronger technology, terrifying 4K graphics, and experiences that go beyond simple fear to touch the deepest corners of the mind and imagination. In this video, we'll take you on a journey through the top 10 craziest horror games of 2025. Games that will make you question reality and think twice before turning off the lights at night. From haunted houses, to cursed forests, to worlds twisted by time and space, and even advanced, complex weapons. Subscribe to the channel and hit that like button, buckle up, and keep the lights on. Because you're about to enter the list of the top 10 new horror games you'll discover. Reanimal is a psychological and cinematic co-op horror game developed by Tarsier Studios, the creators of the Little Nightmares series. The game offers an immersive and tension-filled experience where players must work together to overcome terrifying challenges in a dark, distorted world. The story revolves around two orphaned siblings who embark on a perilous journey to rescue their missing friends after a mysterious accident. They explore 3 deformed islands, encountering terrifying animalistic creatures and uncovering dark secrets about their past. The narrative focuses on themes of hope and redemption amidst an atmosphere of horror and loss. Gameplay. The game features both cooperative and single-player modes. You can play solo or with a friend in local or online co-op. In single-player mode, the second character is controlled by AI. You'll traverse between islands by boat and on foot, exploring diverse environments such as dense forests and abandoned structures. Players will face challenges that require puzzle solving and stealth to avoid predatory creatures. The game uses a shared directed camera to heighten the sense of claustrophobia and tension during cooperative gameplay. Reanimal is scheduled for release in 2025. We Harvest Shadows is a first-person psychological horror game that blends elements of farming and exploration within an open world, offering an emotionally charged and tense narrative experience. The game centers around the character Garrett, a mentally exhausted man who flees his past life to an abandoned farm in a remote area, seeking isolation from the world. During the day, he engages in farming activities like planting crops, caring for animals, and improving the farm. But as night falls, mysterious and terrifying events begin to unfold, raising the question, is Garrett truly alone? Or is something watching him from the shadows? Gameplay. The game features a slow-burn horror experience, focusing on building tension and atmosphere rather than relying on jump scares. Players are tasked with completing daily objectives to improve the farm, while exploring the surrounding over 500-acre landscape. Dynamic weather conditions shift over time, influencing the gameplay experience. There are no traditional survival elements like hunger or thirst, allowing players to fully immerse themselves in the story and exploration. Carnival Hunt is a multiplayer psychological horror game focused on stealth, cooperation, and escaping from a terrifying creature. The game is set in an abandoned circus where one player controls the carnival monster, while the other players take on the roles of wooden rabbits trying to escape the monster. Gameplay. The game is built around an asymmetrical mechanic. The rabbits must work together to solve puzzles and collect keys that help them escape or survive. They need to be cautious about making noise that could reveal their locations, and they can fake death or hide among dead rabbits to evade capture. On the other hand, one player controls the monster, whose goal is to hunt the rabbits and steal their keys to grow stronger. The monster has unique abilities such as sneaking or teleporting between rooms to track down the rabbits. The game's graphics and visual design are dark and atmospheric. Dim lighting, distorted statues, and shadowy corridors enhance the sense of tension and unease. Silent Hill 2 is one of the most famous and profound psychological horror games of all time. The story follows James Sunderland, a man who receives a mysterious letter from his deceased wife, Mary, telling him that she is waiting for him in the town of Silent Hill, a dark, foggy city known for its strange occurrences. Even though Mary died 3 years earlier from a serious illness, James travels to the town in search of answers. Throughout his journey, he encounters a range of enigmatic characters, such as Maria, a woman who bears an uncanny resemblance to his late wife, but with a completely different personality, as well as characters like Angela and Eddie, each struggling with their own deep psychological issues. Gameplay blends exploration, puzzle solving, and confrontations with symbolic monsters that represent internal psychological conflicts. Players move through a fog-shrouded environment, exploring abandoned buildings such as a hospital, a prison, and a hotel, collecting keys and items to help them progress. Combat is not the core focus, but players do face grotesque creatures like Pyramid Head, a terrifying symbol reflecting James's inner guilt and torment. The story's ending changes based on the player's actions and choices, ranging from tragic endings to mysterious and entirely unexpected conclusions. In the upcoming Silent Hill 2 remake, the graphics are stunningly realistic with detailed character models and environments, all while preserving the bleak and mysterious atmosphere. The remake is expected to be released in 2025. Subnautica is a first-person adventure and survival game set in a fully open-world underwater environment. The story begins when a massive spaceship called the Aurora crashes on a mysterious ocean planet known as Planet 6b. You play as one of the survivors, waking up inside a small life pod floating above this vast ocean. Your primary goal is to survive, but as you progress, you uncover that this planet holds deep secrets, including ancient civilizations, lost technology, and mysterious reasons behind the ship's crash. Gameplay revolves around exploration, resource gathering, crafting tools and equipment, and building underwater bases. You'll dive into the depths of the sea and discover stunning ecosystems filled with strange creatures, some peaceful, others hostile. At first, you'll collect basic resources like metals and fish, then gradually craft advanced gear such as high-tech diving suits, small submarines like the Seamoth, and eventually build underwater bases to store resources and shelter from threats. You'll constantly manage your hunger, thirst, oxygen, and health. The exploration takes you into dangerous dark depths, like the lava zone, where the level of horror and mystery intensifies. There are no traditional combat weapons. Your best option when facing dangerous creatures is to escape or use simple defensive tools. Ultimately, you work toward repairing an escape vehicle and leaving the planet after uncovering its secrets. Slitterhead is one of the most anticipated horror games because it comes from the mind of Keiichiro Toyama, the creator of Silent Hill and Gravity Rush. And that alone is enough to excite any fan of psychological horror games. The game offers a unique blend of horror, action, and bizarre character control. It's not a traditional survival horror like Silent Hill, but rather a fast-paced, sudden horror experience with combat and strange body transformation mechanics. The story takes place in a dark Asian city that seems inspired by Hong Kong, or a densely populated neon-lit Chinese metropolis, where humans live alongside disguised creatures that appear human, but are actually twisted monsters known as slitterheads. These beings can shapeshift, invade human bodies, and control them. The gameplay combines investigation and transformation. The player tries to uncover the existence of these creatures and identify who among the people is the disguised monster. You can also possess or control other bodies, whether human or monster. Combat. This isn't traditional action. It features very fast-paced physical battles against creatures whose bodies grotesquely distort in disturbing ways. The creature design is deliberately shocking and grotesque, inspired by body horror. Terrifying physical deformities similar to what we've seen in David Cronenberg's films. The game also features stunning visuals and terrifying music. The game is expected to be released in 2025, no final date confirmed yet. Pathologic 3 is the highly anticipated installment in the philosophical survival horror game series, originally scheduled for release in 2025. This game serves as a direct sequel to Pathologic 2 and focuses on the character The Bachelor, Daniil Dankovsky, a doctor from the capital who seeks to understand a mysterious plague sweeping through an isolated town. One of the game's standout features is time travel. It introduces a new mechanic that allows players to navigate between multiple timelines, directly influencing the storyline and the decisions they make. The game also offers a realistic medical experience, requiring players to diagnose diseases, prescribe treatments, enforce quarantines, and attempt to stop a deadly and philosophical plague simultaneously. This adds a layer of realism and depth to the gameplay. Every decision the player makes can alter the fate of characters and the entire town, emphasizing the weight of moral choices within the narrative. The game presents an environment full of mystery and tension, with graphics and audio-visual design that heighten the sense of fear and unease. Additionally, a free prologue titled Pathologic 3 Quarantine has been released, offering a glimpse into the game's atmosphere and mechanics, setting this third entry apart from its predecessors. The Bornless is a psychological horror and first-person shooter (FPS) game that combines competitive multiplayer (PvP) and cooperative PvE elements. The game is set on a remote island with an atmosphere inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's works, taking place in the 1960s. It offers an immersive experience where players must face off against each other, summon demons, and build factions in a world full of mystery and terror. Gameplay. In The Bornless, players are divided into teams of 2 within matches of up to 8 players. Each team starts in an isolated cabin and must explore the surrounding environment, gather resources, and battle cultists and demons to complete objectives. Incense is used to activate ancient ritual sites, which allows teams to summon powerful demons like Oribos to assist them or attack their rivals. Every completed ritual increases the risk by revealing the team's location to other players. After summoning the demon, the remaining teams must find an extraction point before time runs out to escape the island. Macabre is a cooperative stealth extraction horror experience that blends stealth, psychological tension, teamwork, and betrayal. The game is set in a dark, temporally unstable world. In this game, you and a team of 1 to 4 players take on the role of investigators trapped inside a mysterious time fracture. You must survive against a smart, adaptive monster that learns from your actions and adjusts its behavior accordingly. You can't rely on combat alone. Instead, you'll need to sneak, strategize, and cooperate with your teammates to survive, or betray them to escape alone and claim a greater reward. Release date. Sometime in 2025, but no exact date has been announced yet. This game is designed for fans of psychological horror, tense multiplayer experiences, and difficult decision-making under pressure. Subliminal offers a psychological horror experience entirely centered around exploration and puzzle-solving within strange and unsettling environments reminiscent of The Backrooms, endless, empty spaces that feel familiar yet distorted and eerie. The game's narrative revolves around diving into the mind of the main character to explore his childhood memories and dark past. The environments players navigate aren't real places, but rather a blend of fragmented memories and abandoned spaces. Throughout the game, players move through rooms, corridors, and areas that constantly shift. Spaces that appear normal at first, yellow office hallways, deserted living rooms, but gradually transform into unnatural and terrifying scenes. Gameplay focuses on solving puzzles using light and perspective. You'll encounter puzzles that require adjusting lighting, manipulating shadows, or shifting your viewpoint to unlock doors, reveal hidden pathways, or trigger specific memories. Exploring environments. There are no direct enemies or combat, but the horror stems from feelings of isolation and unease. The game constantly makes you question your senses, as spaces subtly change behind your back, or objects vanish unexpectedly. As you delve deeper into darker and more mysterious areas, auditory and visual hallucinations intensify, making progress increasingly challenging.